Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Tao, and I'm the host of the Data Standard Audio Experience. And once again, today we have an amazing guest. We have Zachery Reichenbach-Carr, a data analytics innovation leader at RSM US. And today we're going to be speaking about data projects in a data-driven industry. So welcome to the show, Zachery. I'm very excited to speak with you.
Thank you, Catherine. Very excited to be here.
Yeah. So can you tell the audience just more about yourself?
Yeah, so as you already mentioned, I lead the innovation data analytics team for RSM US. Been in that role for about a year and a half now. Prior to that, I worked in the talent area function within RSM, leading analytics over there. I'm actually a transplant to the data analytics kind of industry or technical area from video game design and development.
Wow, that's fun. You've had a different journey to get to where you are today, so that's cool. And so, how does data drive the business decision for your specific industry?
Yeah, so if listeners out there don't know, RSM is a professional services organization. So we have audit, tax, and consultative services and look to kind of meet the needs of our clients through one of those arenas or multiple if the opportunity is there. Within professional services, we kind of have three layers where data shows up most often. It shows up in those kind of functional areas, those operational areas such as finance, HR, IT. It also shows up in the way we serve our clients. So we have services specifically dedicated to data analytics, working in data analytics, whether in our technology consulting or risk consulting. And then it kind of in between those two layers, you have this sort of services operations. So if you think about it, a lot of our services like tax and audit specifically, you have a lot of folks in the background, whether shared services model, technologies they're using, et cetera. And all of those capabilities are enabled by some leveraging of data analytics.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so, can you tell us more about an interesting project you have worked with that involves data?
Sure. One of our major initiatives within innovation is around upskilling. And we have a number of different competency development projects we're working on in the area of data analytics and blockchain and automation. Most specifically, this last summer, we ran an initiative around generating more ideas and energy in the area of machine learning. And we held our first official internal data competition. So we sponsor a PGA tournament every year, RSM does in the fall. And so we thought it would be fun to mix kind of our sponsorship of that event and this data competition. And so we had teams of folks submit to be on different data teams, beginner, intermediate, and advanced level of usership. And we had folks go ahead and try to predict PGA Tour outcomes, trying to predict the number of birdies or better scored by golfers at PGA tournaments. It was a huge hit, huge success. We had 150 participants. A number of those were folks that hadn't done anything with advanced analytics or machine learning in the past. So it was really cool. It was a fun event. A lot of people enjoyed it. So we'll probably do another one this upcoming summer.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And it's great that people are getting involved to kind of do these almost hackathons, these data science hackathons. And so, yeah, can you tell us about a time you've kind of made a mistake in your data career and how you were able to overcome this obstacle? I think it's really important for us to all talk about mistakes that we've had because it leads you to where you are today, and everyone makes mistakes. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think, we all kind of make those day-to-day kind of tactical mistakes. One of the, I guess, less than a mistake, more of an assumption I've made throughout my career, and I kind of probably repeatedly make this assumption, but it's that assumption that when you get to that next title or when you finish that next project or get that next certification, that things are going to sort of change instantly or, become kind of a different setup. I know when I finished my master's in data science, I thought the world would sort of stop spinning for a minute and, everything would make sense. And what I quickly found was while I had captured tools and technologies and skills as part of the program, implementing that, putting it into practice, really understanding where the organization was at, where the business challenges were, was a whole new set of competencies that I hadn't yet gained. And so it was just kind of stepping back at those milestones and saying, okay, I've gotten another rung up on the ladder, but how do I advance this now? What's next in line? And not getting discouraged by that.
Yeah, and that's good. I think it's a lot of people are always very discouraged with just their thoughts in their head and just trying to always not make these mistakes. But it's good that you think about that. And so now I want to just kind of transfer over to this new topic. So how do you see the data field evolving in the future?
Yeah, I think we're seeing some of this evolution already where we have more and more novice data users. So more people with less data experience, less technical data experience, having access to higher powered tools. There are gobs and gobs of online trainings out there. You could get access to Python, you could get access to R and some of these other technologies very quickly and be able to do some very intensive and interesting things. But sometimes what we're running into or what we're seeing is folks don't have those core fundamentals, maybe that background in stats or math or data science or engineering, to be able to either validate, to assess the risk associated with models, things like that. And then also the skills to be able to implement those into some production environment. And so we've kind of tackled it at RSM in really three different ways within innovation. We have our kind of our core competency areas. We're trying to target that upcoming issue. We've got our intermediate trainings that we're doing around skills and technologies. And then we're targeting these advanced skills so we can have some mentors and coaches within the organization.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, how do you measure success for your specific company?
Yeah, for us, especially in innovation, it's a mix of those qualitative metrics. How many projects are we taking on? What's the impact in revenue or hours saved or number of insights provided within those projects? But then we also look at those qualitative measures, such as what's our impact on the culture? How many people are we getting trained or being trained up? What's the perspective people have about innovation and the impact we're making? And then as the organization goes as a whole, it's really trying to sit down with our clients and ask them, what services are resonating? What are they hearing in their industries? Where can we help them? Where can we offer guidance? And then looking at the survey feedback we get back from them after engagements to make sure, we're being successful on their behalf.
Yeah, that's great. And my final question is having to do with more artificial intelligence. So, what are some ways that AI has helped innovate or enhance your company?
Yeah, I think right now we have a couple of groups doing a few different things with machine learning or AI. I think the most relevant space for us, which hasn't really become maybe a factor yet in the industry, we have a large audit and risk practice that is actually being asked to evaluate many of our clients' technologies. And some of those technologies include machine learning algorithms that they've implemented, new vendors they're working with, some of the risks associated with those tools and those technologies and those algorithms, especially if they are a requirement or a necessity for that organization to continue producing products or services, et cetera. And so we're actually looking at, what is the risk model? What is the auditing model we're going to use in the future on those technologies and capabilities, and help our clients understand their overall risk associated with those tools.
Yeah, fantastic. And it was so great speaking with you and just learning more about how you work with everybody on your team and your customers as well. We at the Data Standard, we're trying to build a community of data thought leaders and data enthusiasts so that everybody can have a place where they can network and collaborate with each other. And so, what is something that our community can do for you?
We definitely want to network with anyone out there. Our main target client is that middle market, small and medium-sized businesses. So if there are other data analytics services or products in that space that are kind of on the edge of technology or the edge of digital transformation, I'd love to connect with those companies and those folks and see what they're doing, hear what they're doing from an innovation standpoint. And then if anybody is interested in some of the things we're doing at RSM, feel free to reach out. Happy to connect.
Fantastic. And where can our community find you online so that they can connect with you?
LinkedIn is probably the easiest path to connect with me. So just feel free and send me a connection request, and I'd love to speak to anybody who's interested.
Great. And to our viewers, for more information on the Data Standard, you can find us at www.datastandard.io. And this episode is sponsored by Pandio. They're innovating the tech space with their Apache Pulsar messaging system. And you can learn more about their work at pandio.com. And thank you so much, Zachery, for joining us. So great to speak with you and hear more about your work.
Thank you.